Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the congrats in the chat. If you didn't know, my son was born 31st December, 8:48 p.m. Germany time. So that's dope, right? Little Turf is here, and as of today, we just realized that he's a week old. Isn't that crazy? When people say time flies, man, you guys didn't lie. Like, for a whole week to be gone like that is wild. And he is definitely already running the show. He's bossing people around. That is definitely my son. He is definitely my son. So thank you all for being here. I truly, truly appreciate it. I really do. This live stream it's a special live stream for me. And we're going to get into it. You understand why. How you doing, Sam, the Weekend Garden Show? So before this, I did a live with the MIG team for the MIG Grow Off 2022 from my garden family in here. And Sam is on the winning team. She's on the winning team because I know we're going to win. I always bring home the trophies. That's why they say hashtag turf cheated, because I always win. I always win. I always win. Eco, that's going to be the first loser for the MIG Grow Off 2022. Thank you for being here, Eco. Appreciate you, man. So Good Gardener, what's going on? Thank you for the congratulations. Oh, there go my man right there. Unicorn Lady Tech, how you doing? Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, I have been the most sleep-deprived individual over the past week, and I wouldn't have it any other kind of way. Any other kind of way. Aldo. Look, Aldo, I need you to go ahead and put together an invoice for 2 more shirts. Send it my way. Because this not only does it feel good, but it's comfy, man. It's comfy. I like this shirt. So go ahead and, you said I'm here for the Uncut. That's right. Turf Uncut. This is going to be a little series that I'm going to be running during the remainder of the winter, leading us up into spring, and I had the privilege of having Ryan Knorr, the Ryan Knorr. If you don't know Ryan Knorr Garden Family, you will get to know him while you're here. Turf, I don't think there's one lawn care enthusiast in here who doesn't know who this man is. And I am so grateful that he said yes. That he said yes. It was almost as daunting as proposing to my wife. That's how it felt in a weird kind of way. Whose team am I on? Nicole Groves? I don't remember. Jamie the accountant, how you doing? Hi, Rob, Mr. Knorr. Yes, Mr. Knorr. He will be here soon. Just warming up things, giving people a chance to flow in real quick. New subscriber here. What's going on, JD Holloway, 425? I hope you stay. I hope you enjoy it. Aldo said, let's go. My man Cam is in the building. Cam just did a little warm up for me. I appreciate that. The kickback. Cam and my man Polo was kicking it, having a good time. Evie does it. What's going on? Oh, and then by the way, Aldo, I was so close to finishing that video. Aldo, my man Lawn Burgundy, if you're here tonight, I'm sure you'll pop in. So close to being done with Lawns with Attitudes. And then the stars aligned for me and Ryan to knock this out. So I'll get it done. It'll be done in the next few days, I promise. Negative 21 degrees here this morning. Gross. You can keep that. I don't want any parts of that. It finally snowed here. It snowed today. It's already gone. It stuck, but it's gone already. Lawn Care, Great Green North Lawn. That's a new name. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy what you see tonight, and then go check out some of my content. I hope that I earn you as a subscriber. I really do. What's going on, cousin? How you doing? Cooking with Dorsha. Thank you for being here. Grace, my great Grace, my ace Doom, my ace Boom in the building. Thank you for being here. Grass Geek. Hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, Elevator. You saw an Elevator. Let me stop reading people's names, but thank you for being here. Grass Greek, Mr. Root, fantastic. Heyo from Michigan. What's going on, brother? Little Launch in there. What's going on? How you doing? Miss Andell. Hello. All right, guys. So, thank you, Eco, for posting that. Appreciate it. That's Ryan Knorr's YouTube channel, but I promise you, typing his name on Google is going to be the first thing to pop up. It's going to be the first thing to pop up. But I bring you today Ryan Knorr. He is a very well-known member of the turf community. He's influenced me a lot. Positive energy through the roof. Just an all-around great guy. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing kicked off. Let me answer this question real quick. Where in Germany? I was stationed in Stuttgart. You mean Stuttgart? That's what I call Stuttgart Stuttgart because it's always traffic. But Wiesbaden, I'm in the Wiesbaden area, so that's where I'm at. I was the first time I came to Germany, I was stationed in Grafenwehr. Then the next time I came to Germany, I was in Baumholder, and this is round 3. So we're here in Wiesbaden. Yeah. What's this? Let's ask Ryan as many questions as we can about the Vikings. I like it. Totally just subscribed and feeling the negative 41 Celsius and snow life here. My goodness. Keep that where you are. Please keep it where you are. No disrespect, but keep it with you. What's going on, Super? How you doing, man? I'm sad that we never got a chance to link, man. Mike had it. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in, showing love right off the top. Thank you for the donations. It is definitely, he's running through diapers. Lil Turf is burning through these diapers. So I appreciate it. He said, Ryan Knorr, who? Exactly, right? My man Chips and Guac Will is in the building. How you doing? Ryan Knorr is so dreamy. He is. He's a dreamy kind of guy. Thank you for your service. Hey, man, it's my pleasure. Jay Holiday. Stuttgart is where my brother is. He is civilian now. Okay, cool. He's in Stuttgart too. Dorsha, you like the setup? Yeah, I like it too, man. It really came together. It took me a little while to get it together. Am I in Stuttgart now? No, I'm in Wiesbaden. D Miles, congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we have warmed up the building. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for our special guest for the night? I'm going to go ahead and bring him on the stage. I'm just going to let everything speak for itself. Let's have a good time tonight. Please, the chat will start rolling at some point. I mean, it's already rolling, but if I miss your question, if we miss anything that you're trying to get in touch with us, trying to ask us something, just retype it if I miss it. And mods, please help me as you always do. Thank you. And without further ado, let's let this roll. Let's let it roll.
Reflections in the waves, spot my memories. Some happy, some sad. Think of childhood friends and the dreams we had. Live happily forever. So the story goes, but somehow we missed out on the pot of gold. But we try best that we can. Do it, Ryan! I'm proud of you! Gathering of angels appear above my head. It's time to read this song of hope and listen to what they said. They said, come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Come sail away, come sail away.
How you doing?
You had to
How
start
you
with that, didn't you?
What did you say?
You had to start with that, didn't you?
I had to start with that, man. Oh man, thank you for being here, man. Did you like that? You like that?
Great to be here. Those are some old videos in there that you found. That was some work on your part.
Yeah, you made it kind of easy. You made it kind of easy. You're an easy guy to follow, and you're an easy guy to just really self-indulge on. And I enjoyed. I don't know if you guys know, but Ryan doesn't like surprises. So, I got a lot of surprises for him tonight, though. Transylvania turf, man, what are you doing? As my man Matt Martin would say, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. He says, this is for bringing one of the most nicest humans on YouTube to your channel. Ryan is a talent and industry treasure. I completely wholeheartedly agree. And he also does not like people, talking about him and being held in high regard and stuff like that. But that's okay. We're going to do it. This night is for him, about him. And also CR, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your donation as well. Thank you so much. I hope you guys loved the little intro there. It looks like there's a round of applause around the house. But how you doing tonight, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. That was very kind words right there, for sure. So, I don't know what to say other than, yeah, you got me out of my hibernation somehow. We had a conversation at GIE, and I think you caught me in a moment. Maybe I had a few too many drinks. I don't know, but I agreed to come on. But no, honestly, I'm excited to be here and to chat with you tonight. And you didn't have to bring too many surprises, but you told me there's a few, so I'm looking forward to this.
There's a few. Yes, there definitely is a few. A little reverb. It will probably clear up. Let me know if it clears up or gets better or gets worse, and I'll finesse some things over here. I made a couple adjustments, so we should be good. But thank you, Aldo. So how's your week been, man? What's been going on in the Ryan Knorr household?
It's been a pretty good week. It's usually once I get to about the beginning of January, there's all the holiday stuff before that, and then the new year hits, and it's kind of like, what am I going to do with myself until we get to the lawn season, which is, for me, here, a long way away once you get to January. At least it definitely feels like that. So, no, I was, I'm working on all my off-season stuff as I do. A lot of stuff that's not very exciting, but at the same time has to happen to get ready for next year and all the business stuff and all that. But yesterday, I was helping my neighbor who you may have seen on my channel a couple times. I helped him do a lawn renovation.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
unfortunately is moving, well, did move yesterday. So it was about -20 wind chill all day when we decided to move them to a new location. So that's what I was doing.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 They said that the reverb is sounding a little better. I'll keep creep. How's that? How's it? Oh, turf. He frozen solid. Nah, it's moving. Maybe maybe it's on your end, or unless you were referring to something else, maybe the grass or something like that. Oh man, Eco says don't forget to hit the like button. How's that renovation doing, Ryan?
That thing is looking really, really good. We'll see what happens with it here. Hopefully, there's some turf nerds that move in. Otherwise, it could be. But that's okay. Will, my neighbor that was over there, was really doing a great job with keeping up with things, and he was really loving the whole process of getting into learning stuff as well. So that's just going to translate to his next place. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's awesome. So I think we should be good on the reverb now. I think I made some adjustments, and we should be good. You guys let me know. But yeah, you're coming through just fine for me now. Ryan, okay, here it is. Ryan, CPU automatically reverbs his voice, singer's touch. As Polo. So Polo said he wants to get you on the track. That's what I heard just now. He said he needs your vocals on one of his tracks.
yep. Yeah, there's a couple of people commenting that it was something. I don't have a mixer going actually, so
That's
it's
fine. I
it's
fixed it.
you got it.
Yeah, yeah. He said, was it J Love? He said, I got it. So we should be good to go. Yeah. He said he doesn't have a mixer. Uh, what else do we have? Sound is good. Okay, sound is good. There we go. Audio fixed. Yep, there we go. Princess Cut Lawn Care. What's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Easy clap. Perfect on the audio. Okay. Looking forward to looking forward to oversee with Sissy Grass in 2022. Jamie, are you overseeing with Sissy Grass? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Nice. Do you approve of that, Ryan? I think you may.
Smart, very smart,
Smart
smart move.
move.
Yep.
I know a guy out
Yep.
there who might, who might have one time said that wouldn't have been a smart move, but then kind of ate his words and turned around and did the same thing. You might know him.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. You guys might
Yeah, I've heard of him a few times, I think, for sure. But
just a few times. So, Ryan, do me a favor for the people who don't know you. I have a lot of garden community in here. If you could give them your 3 minute elevator pitch for me, real quick, just let them know what you're about, what your passions are, why you do what you do, and yeah, just who the guy behind the very successful YouTube channel is. I'd appreciate if you could take a moment and do that.
yeah, no problem. Well, to be honest with you, I never anticipated doing any of this, what I'm doing now. I mean, I always anticipated being a creator of some kind. I got into music from a young age, and I really planned on doing that with my life. And I have a music production degree, and I was kind of going down that path. And for those of you who don't know, this is a little known fact, but I actually have 3 albums of original music out there of my own too. So if you want to hear that, but yeah, so I was doing that, and then some things happened, just life stuff. Some things happened with my voice at some point where I wasn't able to kind of sing the way that I was before, and so I kind of had to pivot myself into a different kind of creation. And I had never done video before. My wife had just moved into our property a few years probably before that, but I was like, I really enjoyed lawn care when I was a kid. Just I didn't know anything about it. I was just having fun with it. And so I started learning some things. I started researching some things. And then one day I was like, I don't know, maybe I should just document this again for me and myself, and also try to make it fun and something that I wasn't seeing online necessarily in terms of like really creative stuff that would be kind of off the wall for lawn content. And I just started going down that road and learning, and then I just got more and more into the camera side of things, the cinematography, all that stuff, and that's kind of where it's gone from there. So yes, I'm definitely a lawn care nerd now, and I love everything lawn care. But I think first and foremost, I'm probably would just consider myself a creator of many different things, and that's kind of my passion in life.
Yeah, yeah. And we relate there because I before I found lawn care, there was three things I was interested in, right? It was the mission, culinary arts. I love to cook, and my wife. That was pretty much it. So, uh, well, in music, I'm sorry, I missed that one. So I guess four things. Four things. For at least I didn't forget my wife. How about
Yeah, that wouldn't
that?
be good.
That was well played. But yeah. So music, man, I am definitely into music. I spend a lot of time, and I can tell you do too as well. You spend a lot of time thinking about the music that you're going to put to your videos. And sometimes that could take the longest, right? Like if you don't already have the song that you know that you want to play out in whatever way, like that could take a while. So, um,
Oh yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, that part of it for me, I have a couple music services that I do use that I subscribe to, but a lot of the times I'm kind of going through those and curating things that at the moment I'm not sure what it's going to be used for, but I kind of, every week or so they come out with new tracks and I kind of browse through some things and make some notes as to, oh, this has a certain feel to it, or this would be used for maybe one of my more story videos, or this might be an upbeat like mowing segment, or I just make some of those notes and then, I can go back to that stuff. But for the most part, I kind of just make things and then I have to find some music that fits the feel of what I'm going for in that
what you
moment.
want.
And to say that that is super easy or that it's not time consuming, no, it definitely is.
Right, right, yeah. Now, every once in a while, I'll hear a song, and the song inspires me so much that I'm like, okay, I'm recording something to this song. And what I find interesting about you is I don't think I've ever watched the video. I'm sure you got it somewhere, maybe, but I don't think I've ever watched the video where you've used some of your own original music. Why is that?
Well, to be honest with you, it's kind of a copyright thing. Um, it's all in the YouTube system, and so I guess I could claim myself, but when
Hmm.
I did the whole get my albums on, Spotify and iTunes back in the day and all of that, it goes into the YouTube ID system and then it gets claimed. So then I take my video down from being monetized on my own, and I don't know exactly how that works on the music side, but I don't think I'm probably making as much over there as I am on the ad side. So very weird problem to have, I guess you'd say, but there's some new music that I have kind of in the coffers, I guess, that I've been waiting for some time to record that
Hmm.
is not on any of those services, so maybe I could get something up there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think we started off pretty strong with this live. I accepted that this live will not be monetized at all. And that's okay because the point was
Yeah.
to bring fun and family. Lives are different. I think they fall in a different category, different class. You just have fun, make sure everyone has a good time. So I want to talk about the moment that you forever changed my life in videography. I don't know if you guys know this, especially from our garden community. If you want some inspiration, I think Dorsha, my girl Dorsha, she when we did the GIE videos, we did a live cast with it, the WeWorking team, and she said, if you want some inspiration, go watch these videos. Well, if you want to know who sparked the fire in me, it was this man right here. And I got something that I want to show the people, the exact clip that did it for me, right? And I just want you guys to take a look at this clip and let me know how it makes you feel afterwards. Not too long. My man Chips and Guac Will knows exactly what I'm talking about because he witnessed it with me live at the same time. Without further ado, let me roll it for you and see if you can draw some inspiration from this too. Let's go. Oh, no, wrong button. That was it. That was the one for me, man.
Yeah, I have not watched that in a very long time, but I definitely remember all those shots. I had just kind of gotten my Panasonic camera and I was playing around with some things, and yeah, I just had that inspiration of after I got that mower, kind of the new look of it, and I was like, I should try some fun lighting stuff, and that's really what everything is about for me is, not knowing everything about everything camera wise, or you just learn, and that's what it's always been, the journey of learning and the journey of experimenting, and I have a lot of fun with that, especially because just creating in the moment. Well, does this look good? We'll find out. We'll just try it.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, man. You nailed it. When you shot that video, I immediately went into your description and I was like, I hope he put what camera he was using. And then I found out that you're one of the few YouTubers out there rolling heavy with Luminix, man. What's that about? What made you pick up that camera first out of all the cameras out there? I mean, because even during your time, I think all the rave was about the Canons. Why did you
Yeah.
go that route?
I knew that was going to be a question because I've been thinking about it myself. I try to tear myself away from those cameras all the time because I see your autofocus and I see that lovely stuff you can do where you just have the camera out and you can move it around and it focuses on things. And I don't have that. So yeah, I don't know why I chose that, but originally I was looking at like a Sony A6300 or something back in the day, and I was like, okay, it's that, or I could get this Panasonic like G7. It was my original camera for like, there was some sale. It was like $450 or something, and it came with the lens. And I said, that's it. I'm just going to go for that. And I started learning that system. I started teaching myself more of like a manual way of filming, and with the way that I do focusing and stuff is more kind of just knowing where I'm going in a scene and focusing on a spot and getting to that scene,
Right.
Instead of necessarily relying on autofocus, which would be nice, and which why I continue to try to tear myself away from it, because I'm like, this is not 2020 or this is not 2010 anymore. I should be doing some things, but I just love the cameras. I don't know why, especially the S1H that I moved to.
Yeah, I saw
There's a
that.
certain quality to it, a certain look to it that I haven't been able to find in any of the other cameras that I have, or the footage of other cameras that are out there right now. So I just kind of deal with the system that I've made and the system that I have learned, and it works for me. But most of the time I'm kind of running two cameras right now, one with a super wide angle that I can kind of just easily pick up and talk to. And then usually I'm using the S1H with like it's like a 24 to 105 on there, so that I can get my tight shots, get some of the wide shots, but it's in more of a, full frame look. So
Yeah. I noticed that when on not on Ryan Knorr Lawn Care channel, but the Ryan Knorr channel, usually when you're talking to the camera, it looks like you're mostly sitting at like a 20 to 24 millimeter frame. You don't punch. You don't have that super ultra wide look. It's more so intimate. I feel close, like I'm right there having that conversation. I like that. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I try to, on that part, I think I try to make it feel a little more, there's not a lot of, well, I shouldn't say not a lot, but there's probably not a ton of movie stuff that's shot at like really wide angles. I think that's probably why it feels a little more cinematic at like a 24, as far as when you're talking, just because that's kind of what you see on movies
Yeah.
as like the widest. There will be some wide stuff, but
Yeah, you definitely do.
yeah. So that's just kind of the feel that I like there. And yeah, that channel allows me to just be my creative self and not worry about algorithms, or is this video going to do as well as it needs to, or any of that stuff that, you would like to say that you don't care about, but it does matter.
Yeah. Eco Neighbor, he has a pretty good question. He's actually a photographer himself. He says, does the manual photography process give you the custom edge on the normal?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was thinking about this today too. It took me quite a while to get my brain to start thinking about these settings and things without having to stop. And I remember when I first started learning, what's an aperture? What is the shutter speed? What is the ISO need to be, what is the white balance? I kept going down a list every time I would try to make a shot, and I would think, I can't do this every time. Like, this is taking me way too long. This is not going to work. But eventually your brain stops thinking about those things and your hands just move the camera to the settings that you already your brain just goes.
Right.
And it's just kind of muscle memory at that point. So once you learn those things, it's really nice to be able to be in control, because sometimes a camera, the whole thing about a camera is that it's intelligent enough, but it's not intelligent all the way for every scene,
Right.
with sunlight, or sometimes you want something in silhouette, or whatever the case is. You have to be the one in control, and your eyes have to see that and what you want it to be.
Right. 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 Speaking of, where you are today and where you came from, Ryan, while I was prepping for this live, I went all the way back. And I'm going to say
That's
this.
scary. That is scary.
I'm going to say this. I was like, oh my gosh, the growth he has made over the years has been insane. So if you ever feel like you can't reach the level of videography, cinematography that Ryan does, just go and look at his first handful of videos. They're good videos, but they're just not anything of what he's doing today. And that drives me to the next point that I kind of want to take people to is your lawn, man. It's an amazing lawn. We all know that lawn, but it wasn't always that lawn that we know today, right?
No.
Nope. These are your humble beginnings right here, right? So
that was it. 2011, about a month, I think, or two before we moved in. So definitely, there was a lot of work to do there, and I didn't know a whole lot about where I was even going to start at that point. But that was kind of the journey of that too, is looking at piece by piece, little by little, and it's taught me a lot of things. It's taught me a lot of patience and a lot of things that I had a lot of just anxiety about. My personality in general is to be very, very particular about things. And so, when you can't do that instantly right away, that teaches you some things about how you have to work through it.
Yeah, yeah. And in between here and here, you had the urge to pick up the camera, and you kind of talked about it. We breezed by it earlier, but I'd like to revisit it. What was that like for you, picking up that camera, actually making that choice to purchase that camera and going for it? And what kind of conversations were you having with yourself and your wife? Like, were there second thoughts along the way? Were you 20 videos in, like, I look like an idiot? What, you know what I mean? Like, what went through your mind, especially for those people who are just getting started in their content creation journey? Tell them how it was for you, and give them some words of wisdom and encouragement, if you can, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that the only thing that my words of wisdom would be is that you have to have fun at the beginning, and it has to be about fun. To me, that's exactly what it was. It was, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to put some cool music to this. I'm just going to have fun learning how to edit a video, have fun, just making something. So that's the whole thing for me in life is, there's nothing that anyone can take away from you when you've created it and put it out into the world. They might not like it. They might not say, oh, this is the best piece of content I've ever made, but it's a journey to you continuing to give back to the world of something that they can't take away from you. And that's always been, with my music or anything else, it's just been my life goal to continue that creation thing. And so that was just it for me. I was just having fun. It was something new. It was something challenging. And at the same time, I got to be creative with it. And so I wasn't worried about anything else. And I think that's probably my best advice for anyone starting is you're not going to know everything. You're not going to necessarily, I see a lot of people right now who come out and I think they feel like they need to, or they feel like they need to be, making the same exact content as everybody else. But I think right now would be the best time to be different. Somebody to come out and just be something completely different and new. And it's a great time for that.
You know, you saying that, Ryan, that's exactly why I took the leap into the gardening realm. You know, when I first stepped onto the platform, it was all about lawn care for me because truly that's the only thing I knew. And then I got introduced to the gardening world and I was torn. I didn't know how to move forward. I was a little terrified when I dropped my first garden video. I was like, oh, watch all these people leave. And then I dropped the garden video and my good friend Lead Farmer 73, he picked it up and he shared it out and a slew of people came in. And then I was even more terrified because the next video I had queued up to drop was, guess what? It wasn't a garden video. It was a lawn care video. And even worse, it was a lawn care video of me using chemicals. So I was like, oh, I'm going to lose all these subscribers. I'm going to lose them all.
Right.
And I just did it. And the exact opposite happened, which is why tonight we have in the chat a beautiful blend of communities of people from the videography world. I see a couple guys out here who aren't into lawn or gardening. They're just cinematic videographers, you know, that I follow and I support. And then we have the garden community and the lawn care all dwelling underneath the same roof. So like, I think that's really dope. And I think that's a really good advice. And one other thing that I'd like for you to kind of address with the people that are watching that think they can go from this to this in an unreasonable amount of time. What was it like for you in your journey? And what would you tell a person who has it in their mind that they're going to go from this to this in one season? Can you speak to them for a moment?
Yeah, I mean, you can make some definite big leaps and strides to things. You know, if you have all your ducks in a row, you really get your research done and you use, you know, especially once I started moving to the really high quality seed, it changed my world in terms of what you can accomplish look wise. But the process itself, you know, you still just, it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of time out there. So that's the thing that probably people don't see that much from me is sort of the back scene of the time that goes into everything, because what you see on the video in 10 minutes is a lot of stuff cut out, you know, it just is.
A lot of shots,
and so,
a lot of unfocused shots thrown out too, because you still got that Panasonic over there.
yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. No,
I know I'm right though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, from going to that picture to where we're at now, I mean, at least 3 or 4 seasons of like really serious work to get it like that. I mean, you could probably push it to do it a little faster. But realistically, yeah, don't just beat yourself up when one day you decide, hey, next Saturday I'm going to do this. And I hope by the next month it looks exactly like the other photo.
Yeah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Expectation management. We have this thing on the WeWorking team that we say 2 years, right? I put 2 years on this. 2 years, after about 2 years, you're going to start seeing some consistent, reliable results. And then right when you think you have it all figured out, something's going to happen. And then you're going to have to go back to the drawing board and relearn whatever it is you thought you knew and thought you had figured out. But that keeps everything fresh.
That's the other good point, is that it never ends. I mean, it looks like that right now, but next year it could rain for 2 weeks in a row and be 76 degrees at night. And that ryegrass might just decide, I've had enough. Pythium takes out the entire thing and I start over. So, you know, most likely that's not going to happen. But at the same time, you can't just prepare yourself to be like, I've reached the finish line and there's nothing else to do.
Right.
It's not how it works.
Right. And
which is what I love about it, because there's always something else to do.
Exactly. That is part of the journey, right? Enjoying the journey. Just like with anything else in life, enjoy the journey of getting to that level of success. I remember you debated a very long time before you started sand capping your lawn, because you knew what that meant the first time you threw sand down, that was a commitment moving forward, that consistency moving forward. So I think that, you know, people will learn a lot, not necessarily just in lawn care, but when it comes to having patience and consistency when they watch a YouTuber like you through your journey. And as you continue to grow and you move, you have now taken a step into a whole new realm. And I am enjoying my journey to retirement. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to eat my own words here, but at the same time, I look at what you're doing now on the new homestead property, and I just can't wait to see what that looks like in 5 years. And for the people that don't know, by the way, Backwoods Lawn Care, I'm digging the new logo. I like it. I like it. I see that that's a new logo. I love the new logo. Thank you very much for the kind words. But
There's a question real quick too that I think I saw that was asked a couple times about editing software, I believe.
oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm using Final Cut Pro.
You use Final Cut Pro? I use
Yep.
I use DaVinci Resolve. Yeah.
That's a good one to learn. It's a good one to learn.
I jumped on that because it was free. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I got inside of it and I said, where's the I don't understand why this is free. Like it's
amazing. Yes.
it's amazing.
If I hadn't already gone down such a rabbit hole of learning Final Cut, which is not really that difficult. I mean, if there's any of the software out there, if you're already a Mac person, then for me that was a no-brainer, just to move into that. But I did try DaVinci a couple times, and I could see the potential of it, specifically, cinematic wise. What you can do there with color grading and stuff like that is amazing. But I was just like, I don't have time to learn this right now. I wish I did, but I don't.
So the beautiful thing about, I know Final Cut Pro editors who use DaVinci Resolve for color grading because it's by far the best. Eco Neighbor has a pretty good question. He says, how did Ryan start his passion and maintain financial stability while you were inside of your passion? How did you balance those things? That's a pretty good question.
That's a good question. Well, I was basically working 2 full-time jobs for about 5 years, somewhere around there. So, I mean, I was still working. I worked in operations at a local school district. So nothing real exciting for me, but it was work. And then it allowed me to kind of on my off hours, do a lot of this work and learn a lot of that work. And I was just putting in all that time. I don't have kids. So that's one other thing that that's definitely a wrench that comes into there for some people. I won't say that it isn't, but
yeah.
So that, yeah, then my wife and I have always just been really kind of planning for the future of what I think we're going to get to here soon about the new property, and really keeping ourselves low key financially so that we could one day, take a risk like the one that I did, where I came to a moment and I just said, I need to change this job. I need to do something different. And I think YouTube is the moment for me right now. I'm going to put 125% into it. And if 6 months from now, it's not what I thought it was, then I'll go find another job like I was going to.
Right.
But I just decided to do that. And it's kind of how it worked.
Right, right. Robin Caesar, thank you very much for the donation. She says, research, expectation, and time. Enjoy the journey. Amen. Amen. I love that. Dave Mayota says, with Macs, yes, I run a Mac, and I believe Ryan runs a Mac as well. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Final Cut is my favorite, Great Green North Lawn Care says. Okay, yeah, man, I love DaVinci Resolve. That's what I picked up, so I'm sticking with it. The 3 times LSM is here. Lawn of the Month is here. Would love for Ryan to resume the Ryan and Ryan podcast. Yeah, I love that show. Me too. It's the holidays. I'm sure it's not gone forever. It'll be back, and it's just a little hiatus every time. And one thing that you said, like, I may or may not have been editing videos with Little Turf in my lap most recently, relearning how I'm even going to continue to do this thing the other night. But it was cool because he legit was enjoying it. Like, he was looking at the screen, not making a fuss. He was engaged. Like, the little man legit enjoyed watching me edit. So I was like, okay, at least for now, it's not going to be bad at all. It's not going to be bad at all. What's up, Kenny Cooper? How you doing, man? And I saw you earlier, Matt, talking about, what did he say? Premiere Pro or bust. Yeah.
Not surprising.
Yeah. Kenny Cooper, iMovie on my phone. Yeah, a lot of people do it on their phone. Like my man, the Neighbor Dominator, he edits everything on his phone. Every last single video he does on his phone. Polo does everything on his phone. Some people that they have lifestyles to where they don't have the time to sit behind a computer and dedicate hours to editing. Ryan loves gradient color, correcting his lawn.
I know, John. Well, let's kick John out right now.
Get out of here, John. Hit Films Express is what I use. Okay, all right, cool. So, like you said, I wanted to move on to the next chapter that you're moving on into your life. And for those who don't know, I put together something that will kind of let you know what Ryan's new journey looks like. So I hope you enjoy the clip. Let's roll it.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running, nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face. We got what it takes. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of your new adventure. You decided to move to rural Iowa. Y'all took that leap. You stepped out on faith, and I think that's so cool, man. How are you feeling about it right now?
Oh, we're just on cloud nine, really. Just waiting to get out there and to actually live out there. You know, it's going to be a process this year, but I'm excited about that process too, because again, it's kind of part of the whole thing, and I'll be able to capture all of that, all the ups and downs and everything that happens with it. But the transformation should be pretty amazing to see, I think, even by the end of this fall, at least in my mind, hopefully. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, we are definitely extremely excited about that. It's a dream that we've had for a very long time. And once you get close to reaching that, we're not quite there, but you know, you're climbing up to the top of the mountain and looking over the edge. So we're almost there.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So far, like, what has been the most rewarding part of having 40 acres, people? 40 acres.
I think it's just been exploring everything that there's so many new things just every time you go out there, experiencing all of the seasons out there now, from purchasing last year in about February. So we're getting close to that time frame for where it was winter, and then seeing every single season is what I love about the Midwest the most, I guess, is just all of those seasons. You go from, like I said, -20 yesterday to over 100 degrees in the summer. It's not for the faint of heart. You see everything here, but yeah, that's what I've loved, and just our plans and looking at the land and seeing how we can be stewards of things going forward too, and really revitalizing some things out there that aren't in shambles by any means, but they definitely, need some work, and we're looking forward to doing that and bringing in some other experts on trees and various different things that we can do to revitalize the land.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about that. A lot of people don't know, because I don't think you really said it out loud on your channel too much. And if you did, I missed it. But I did learn it about you while we were in Louisville. Maybe it was at Spinelli's. I don't know. But you're super into trees.
I am. Yeah, I'm probably just as big of a nerd about trees as I am lawns. It's just I don't know as much about them yet. So that's the dive that I'm probably going to go down, which means you might not see me for a while. But yeah, and my wife, for those who don't know, Kelsey she just finished her Master Gardener program from Iowa State. So she has that done.
Congratulations, Kelsey. I did mine in Maryland. Was that last year? Yeah, last year, fall, winter. Yep. That's what's up.
Yep.
And that is, it doesn't mean that you know everything when you're done. But the greatest thing and the
No.
coolest thing about it is you get to connect with so many people that know your area, your regional location. Like they've been growing it for 20, 30 years. You got documented people, resources. That's what it is. The best part about that is resources and being able to give back. And yeah, Kelsey, she seems awesome. I've never met her, but yeah, she she seems
Yeah,
awesome.
she's very excited about that, and you know, the possibilities. What I was wanting to do out there, lawn stuff wise, and continue my channel and stuff was one thing, but we were also looking forward to giving her more of an opportunity to do what she wants to do, and which is hopefully, you know, continue to work on her garden side, but maybe more than that at some point, maybe a little bit of food production, or you know, produce production, or something. We haven't decided exactly what yet, but she has a big passion for that, and that's going to give her an opportunity to work on that side too.
Yeah, yeah, she should continue to pursue it. That's why I picked up an extra canner and I was like, hey, y'all interested in this canner? Because I accidentally got this thing. But yeah, Classical says, Ryan, you inspired me to get a DJI Mini 2. Congrats on the new property. Do you have any recommendations for a decent snowblower? I'm going through my second winter in New Jersey, so it's not quite Iowa.
Oh man, this is probably not a good question for me because I started my snowblower last weekend. For we got about 4 inches of snow here, and it's a 1994 Toro. So I
Oh.
haven't been in the market for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. Sorry we couldn't help you any more than that. The lawn father,
No, but
Ryan.
I think there's a lot of good battery powered stuff out there now. You know,
There is.
if you have some sort of system, I would probably say that might be kind of cool to look into.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, I'm not sure of what's out there gas wise, but mine's still kicking after all those years.
Yeah, I've never had a snowblower. It snowed here for the first time. That was just the first of much more to come, and I still don't have a snowblower. But I'm okay with the manual labor. You know, I'm okay. And if it snows really bad, we usually get a delay to work, a late work call. So I'll just shovel it out, man. It's some good PT. It's some good PT because usually PT is canceled. So and then you just go shovel snow, shovel out your car, shovel out the sidewalks, whatnot.
Yeah. Well, and see, I would say it's not that bad here typically. I was having a conversation with Mr. Ward about this not too long ago because he's got like 30 inches of snow on his yard right now. And he was like, "You guys get this much snow there?" And I said, "No, we don't. The record for snowfall here in one day is like 13 inches, and that would be something out in the mountains that they would laugh hysterically at." So I told him, I was like, you know, I don't typically run into too many problems with snow. It's mainly just the end of the driveway where the snow plows bury you in because we
Yeah.
have an extra wide road and it really starts to pile up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. My guy, the lawn father, says, Ryan, how many square feet of lawn are you planning at the new place?
That's a very good question. I've got some test plots going right now that's about 3,000 square feet of that. And then I have some other areas planted. And then up around the house, I'm just not sure. Visually, it's kind of hard right now to figure out exactly where the lawn is. We have the building site and ready and the dirt work done there. So we're going to be ready to plant something around it next year. It's just, I'm not sure exactly what that's going to be yet. And I don't want to go too crazy, having too much to maintain. This whole next year, I'm going to have two properties to pretty much take, look at, because I'm going to have where we're living right now and then where we're going to move to. So I'm looking ahead at a lot of work here.
Yeah, that root guy, fantastic. Won't be long. Ryan will have a float on the Can-Am. That'd be a cool look. That'd be a cool look. I know another good thing that I saw you on that you had just as much fun as I did when I was with Pete Denny. That might be a perfect thing to throw a snow pile on. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll
That
see.
might be a possibility.
We'll see. I think I had something I wanted to pull up here. Oh yeah, here it is. Ryan is killing it with the flannel. I love flannels. Eddie Bauer all day. So
Yeah, my wife got me this for Christmas. So
it's a nice
I had
flannel.
this flannel that I loved. It was this color with the white in it and the red and the black. And for some reason, I got a little bit bigger. I might have drank a few too many beers or something, and it didn't fit me anymore. And so she got me this for Christmas, and I've definitely been enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah. So with that being said, Brian, like I love that you're going on this journey and I love that you're taking us along with us, with you for this journey. But there's more to Ryan Knorr than the soft spoken, nice guy. He likes to have fun too. He has a wonderful sense of humor. And out of all the content I've seen this year, this year, was it this year? I don't know, lost track. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen Ryan do. And I want to share it with you tonight. And then he's going to talk about it because I'm putting him on the spot about it right here in Turf Uncut. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Roll the tape. Roll the tape. Hey, J Pink, roll the tape. Nah, J Pink's not here, but roll the tape.
Just had this mowed yesterday. Stupid snow. Spring ever going to get here? At least I look good.
The skit with Connor. The skit with Connor was pretty good too. Who said it? The guy, that guy, Root, fantastic. It was hilarious, and it was a split and tie between the two. But this, I mean, come on, guys, look at this. Ryan, please explain to us what is happening here for the people who missed it. What is happening here? What made you do it, and how much fun did you have doing it?
That was a lot of fun. You know, Connor, he makes me do all of the crazy things, and he challenged me to a mullet contest, of which he did ultimately win by popular vote.
It was
So
the
I will
perm.
give him that.
It was the perm. It was the perm.
Yeah. But I did go along with it, and I had some fun. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have some more fun with this because I had those leather pants, and I legitimately used to wear those to like college parties and things. And
And the
I
earring.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I do have my ears pierced. And that Led Zeppelin shirt is my dad's shirt from the 70s. And so I thought, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna have fun with this, and that's what I did.
You
Um,
sure
and I embarrassed
did.
myself, but that's okay.
You did not embarrass yourself. You brought Americans joy all across the nation who needed it the most. And I think you deserve a round of give Ryan some hand claps down below, please, for following through with this lovely, lovely. I mean, look at those pants. Look at that belt. Look at the belt. The belt is what set it off. Like you
The belt
nailed
is the classic.
you nailed it.
Yes.
And I love how you pulled in the shirt that actually belonged to your father as well. I thought that was pretty for that shirt to be in that good of condition and it belonged to your dad. You can tell he's a serious Zeppelin. He's serious about the Zeppelin. He is
Hmm.
serious about it, man. That's
Yep.
awesome, man. That's awesome. I hope you
But that
guys
was the
enjoyed
last
that.
time that I was ever able to wear those pants because they did rip when I was wearing them this last time.
No. That's awful. That's awful. That's awful. Well, we kind of talked about Kelsey earlier, and uh, I had one mission during this live, and that mission was for me tell you to convince your wife to start a YouTube channel? And before you say anything, before you respond, hold that response. And I just want to show you guys why right here.
I started thinking about the garden, and it feels a little strange to be doing that given that there's 5 to 8 inches of snow coming down on the ground today, but it's about time that we start planning and getting some things ready to go. I've started seeing that seeds order services, mail order services are going to be short on their supply this year, so I thought maybe I'd share some information about what I do to get ready for the garden season and help everybody get prepared. Step one for me is always to take a look at 2 things. One, what do I want to grow? What are we going to eat for fresh eating? What do I want to can or freeze and have preserved? What might we want to share with friends or family? Or I always like to try something new in the garden if I can. New experiment, so add something to the list that's maybe fun, something to enjoy for the season, look forward to doing instead of the same old thing. The second part that I always take a look at is what space do I have and where am I going to put things? Now I have an established garden space, but maybe you're implementing a new garden space, maybe you're expanding. It's important to know that because if you're anything like me, your list of what you want to grow a lot of times is bigger than what you have room for. So it's important to know that so you don't go gather a bunch of seed or plants and get started and then find you don't have space to put everything. The next thing I do after I have my space determined and I have my list put together is to combine those 2 things. And I start designing. Usually I use a little graph paper, map out what my measurements are for my garden space, and implement the list of the priority things that I want to do, make sure I have those and have enough room for those plants, and then fill in everything else that's around there. A lot of times if I have too many things I want to grow, I'll look at other options like containers or maybe sneak something into the landscape, something like that, where you can fit in everything on your list. But it's time to start designing and planning out to make sure you have space for everything. Once you know what you're going to plant and where you're going to put it, then it's time to gather your seeds. You can do a lot of different options for seeds. Maybe you have some left over from last year, and as you'll see, I have a wide array of things where I didn't use a full packet, so I have a seed from maybe the 2019 or even 2020 season, and that's okay. There is a way to test your germination rate so that you don't have a garden full of unsprouted seeds, and we can show you that. We're going to wet the paper towel and make sure that it's damp, so get rid of excess moisture, but you want it to have enough moisture to wet the seed fully. And going to take our seed, this is seed I had from last year left over, so I want to see if it's still viable. Count out 10 seeds. 10 just makes it easy to determine what your germination rate is. And we'll place those on the paper towel, fold it over so that there's moisture surrounding the seed, and put it in the Ziploc bag to essentially act like a greenhouse. We place this in a window that gets good sunlight and can get some warmth. I happen to have a grow light going, so I placed mine underneath the grow light, and you should see sprouts within a few days. In my case, I was able to get all 10 of my seeds to sprout. So I have very viable seed to use. The fewer seeds to sprout, the less your germination rate is, and you're going to want to either buy new seed or you're going to want to double plant your seed to ensure more possibility that you'll get growth.
And there it is. I mean, the newly anointed master gardener, Kelsey Knorr. Come on, can I get a sneak peek? Please tell me we're going to get a Kelsey
Oh, she
Knorr
would
channel.
she would absolutely love to. I mean, we've done a few of these videos now, and we've just put them out on my channel because there's been quite a few people on there. Just, you know, it's the same type of thing. A lot of people growing stuff, especially here in the Midwest. It's just a very common thing to have a garden. So she's really enjoyed doing that, and I enjoy helping her make those videos. But time-wise, it has always been the issue for us. I don't know, little known fact, but Kelsey and I are the only ones running everything that we do, our business, our e-commerce site. Kelsey does all of our accounting. She does, if you've ever bought anything from us and, spoken to her, she is fantastic at customer service and does all that side of everything. So we are 2 very, very busy people and going to be moving this year, but it is on the list for the future. It is on the list.
Okay, yeah. Let's get a thumbs up for chat for thumbs up in the chat for Kelsey. Yes. All around. Well, I mean, come on, man. Like, she crushed that. I can see that one of her favorite seed companies is Baker Creek, just like mine. Look, they got some rare seeds over there, man. Matter of fact, their website is
Yep.
actually called rareseeds.com. I'd argue that probably 70% of my initial seeds I got from Baker Creek. And as she was talking about in this video, you should go and check out the rest of this video. It's on his channel. It's called Preparing Your Garden for the New Year or something like that.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
remember the
there might
name?
be a link in there too. Somebody put a link in, I think.
Oh, okay, someone dropped a link. My man Eco probably did that. He's been all over it. Appreciate you, Eco. But yeah, go check it out, man. She drops these channels, and she'll probably have one can we expect one this winter, spring from her for the
Yeah,
garden?
most likely. She just showed me she got the Baker Creek catalog the other day and was like,
It's
"Here
so-
it is."
Hold on, wait. Let me see. These oh man, come on. Look at,
Yep.
I mean, man, this not this year's. This is 2021's. I didn't even sign up for 2022. I'm regretting that now. Maybe I can go and get one after the fact. But yeah, beautiful. I mean, just to look at. You know what I mean? It's just a beautiful specimen to look at. So, I mean, guys, that's Kelsey. Hey, Goddess Leo, how you doing? That's Kelsey, Ryan's better half, super supportive wife. I mean, you can just tell through the videos down to the keystone of them breaking ground on their brand new homestead. So, Ryan, this like, when did you send me the message saying we're go for Friday? It was like 2 days ago.
Wednesday, maybe something like that.
Okay, Wednesday, something like that. And, you know, all y'all know Little Turf came home. And Ryan and I have been trying to do this for the better part of 2 months, it feels like. And when he said, we're go for Friday, I was completely unprepared. Completely unprepared. Everything that you're seeing now has been done in the last 72 hours. I stopped, dropped, and rolled. Luckily, Little Turf, he was home, so that was great. And my wife allowed me to put this together because she knew how much it meant to me. So that was awesome as well. Now,
Shout out to her for sure.
shout out to her for sure. But I got another shout out to two individuals, special individuals, because you know that promo video that I put together to get this out here to kind of let people know what was going on. Well, I didn't do that video at all. And if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to let that video run, but I could not have done it without the best people I have met throughout this journey of doing what I've been doing for the past 3 years. So I just want to show y'all this video and give credit to where it's actually due. Yeah, without further ado.
It's time!
And that was not me. And this was the last surprise of the night. Ryan, I didn't make that video. I didn't make it at all. In fact, my man that's right underneath you on the screen today, the WeWorking team, Polo did that for me. I said, guys, Ryan is ready for Friday. I'm completely unprepared. Little Turf is about to come home. I need your help. And they said, this is what they said. You say it, it's done. Polo made the video. Cam helped me restructure the outline of this show, and I could not have done it without them. And before they say anything, Transylvania, man, have a good evening. Thank you for being here. These blessings, man. Y'all just
Absolutely.
y'all don't understand how fast babies run through diapers. And that is where this money will be well spent. I mean, he is cooking through these diapers. So I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. So Polo did that. Thank you, Polo. I appreciate you. Cam, thank you for helping me clear my mind and structure this thing to the appropriate level. And they got some questions for you, man. They want to hang out with you. If you don't know and you're
Yeah,
watching,
absolutely.
these are my guys, man. I can count on them for anything. We've developed so much love for each other over the past year. We're like family. We talk every single day to the point where I can call them and say, "Hey, I need help doing this," and they pull it through for me. So I think I've spoken enough. We'll give it to Ken. Polo.
What is going on, brother Ryan? How are you, sir?
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for putting all that
Man,
together as well.
it's no problem. That's something that I do, and I enjoy doing it. Okay. Let me get into it. Let me stop with all the small talk. Let me tell you something. I probably watched out of all the videos you have. I probably watched all of them twice. I was when I was sitting up there coming up with that. Okay, I was like, man, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. And I was going. I mean, I went all the way back, and it's a question that I'm gonna ask you in a little bit. I went all the way back, man,
Yes, you
and
did.
yeah, way back. And I was like, I mean, really going through it because you know how you do when you're trying to build something and you're trying to put something together. You really want it to be right. So
My
I
bad.
was like, man, let me just go ahead and find something. And when I found that, Lord Jesus, I was like, nah, this is it. I immediately started laughing. I was like, this is it right here. This is it, man. So hey, I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be with you, my brother.
And
That is awesome.
let me tell you something. Polo, when I asked him, he said, "Yes, of course, I'll do it." And then this is what Polo does. He'll say, "Yes, I'm gonna do it," and then he disappears in the chat. He
Disappears.
goes zero dark 30. We don't hear anything from him, so we know what he's doing. He's cooking up something, and then we're sitting here like waiting, like it's a Marvel release. We're just waiting to see what he cooked up. And then as far as helping me structure this, right? Pull this all together, make it make sense, make everything a little clearer in my brain because I had a lot on my mind, right? Obviously, brand new baby. Cam comes through with this beautiful outline that it had all the things that I was thinking, but it structured it in a way so that I could build the scenes and the flow of this live to make it a presentable and good show for not only you but the audience as well. Thank you for if you're still here. Thank you if you smash that thumbs up. I really, truly, truly appreciate it. Cam, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, man. This has been a good time, Ryan. Glad to be back together with you, man. We had a good time back there at GIE. It was
Yes, we
good
did.
meeting you. And as I said in my live previously, warming up for turf, man, you're just a genuine dude. I was glad to be able to finally meet you. And you are on camera, just like. Thanks for that, turf. Appreciate it.
I got
Hashtag turf cheated. He don't want me to have my stripes up. But no, Ryan, it was good, man. You are a genuine guy, and I think just from looking in the chat, you've seen how you've inspired so many people within the lawn community on their journeys, whether it's lawn care related or if they're getting a new property, which is kind of like where my questions and stuff want to come from. Um,
Hmm.
I'm interested in the new property, and so I would go ahead and ask my one question. What do you think? Like, what was the thing that you're enjoying about your new property now without even living there? Like, I know it's got to be something that's like, this is why I bought this property, or we bought this property with your wife. What is that one thing?
It's for me, I would say right off the bat, just peace. I mean, you just go out there and specifically kind of where we're at. I mean, we chose a spot that was going to be far enough off of a road and going to be on an area that wasn't going to be too much travel, cars and things like that constantly. And And especially that last snowfall that we had when we got the first chance to go out there and see it under snow. And, if you've ever experienced snowfall, you get a couple inches on the ground and everything is so quiet and still.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was just that moment for me that it just kind of, you pinch yourself every once in a while. Like
It's a
I was
real,
saying earlier, we're getting to the top of the mountain. We're not quite over it, but I'm seeing over the edge, and I'm seeing the life that we're going to have there, and I'm really looking forward to that.
yeah. And I think we talked about it at GIE. I'm looking forward to that day when it's like, let me at least get me some acreage. I'm not even gonna put a number on it, but I want at least 10.
Yep.
So like just let me get the day. I'm looking forward to it. Let me get some acreage, and I think what you said is what I'm looking forward to. Is you step out there and it's just peace, and you're just like, man, this is it. This is it.
Yep. And I think you can kind of tell from my content, but I'm just so much too of a nature person, just going out and exploring different areas and kind of what that does to regenerate, your life from the busy, hectic things. And when you live out somewhere like that and you get to walk out your door at some point and just look around and see all of that without having to even go anywhere, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, yeah, it's key, which is one of the reasons why I went back home and I spent that much time back home for Christmas was doing exactly that. And it was just a regeneration of just like step away from the hustle and bustle of life and it's like, yo, let's just go out here and enjoy some outdoors time and just kick back.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The neighbor dominator says, Ryan, are you putting down the SS 9000 at the new property?
So probably somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've got enough room now. I can do anything and everything. So
Oh, and then we can't let this slide. Matt says, elevated. You and Ryan should do a karaoke duet.
No, no.
That's some inside baseball right there. Oh
Too far
boy,
inside, man. Too far inside.
that's some inside baseball. Let me tell you what's going on, Brampton. That's right, Team Us. Yes, I'm the leader, but yeah, that's another person that's on the winning squad, right along with my man Cam. We're gonna win this girl off. We're gonna win this girl off.
I'm ready for the girl.
Yeah,
I might
yeah.
need to call Kelsey and get some tips
Yeah,
because
you might
this one
want to
right
call Kelsey and get some tips, man, because she finesses it, man. I can't wait to see her start the channel. That root guy, fantastic. We shot property in the UP up of Michigan Monthly. Can't wait till we settle on one and start the process. That's what's up,
yeah,
Ryan.
it's not easy to find. It is not easy to find things right now. And last year we've been looking for years and years for kind of the right thing. And I know I've said this before and it's a funny statement, but you would think there's plenty of land out in the middle of nowhere in Iowa, but you got to find the right thing. I mean, there's a lot of cornfields here. I don't really just want a cornfield. So I was looking for something specific and it took a while to find it. It happened to be kind of in the dead of winter when not as many people probably wanted to trudge out into 6 inches of snow and walk 3 miles back into a property, but that's what we did, and that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah, yeah. Polo, you got any questions for Mr. Ryan while we have him?
Yes, I do have a question, Mr. Ryan. So when it comes to when you're starting for because there's a lot of content creators in this live. When it when you go back, one thing that I seen when I was looking at all your videos, I'm talking about going back to day one. I'm talking about when you were detailing your car. When you are creating content, and I'm speaking for me and I'm speaking for other people as well, and you have more than one talent, more than one thing that you are really good at, how can you, as a content creator, you want to be yourself. You don't always want to kind of follow the trends. You want to just do you. Um, what advice could you give to a person to be able to balance those things and not do so much of more of this and so much of that, what advice could you give them? Because I noticed in your journey, you were doing line content and you were also doing content with you detailing and doing things like that, and then it kind of shied away from it. But
Hmm.
for a person who loves to do, let's just say you doing your lawn care, doing your detailing, dealing with that pretty purple car that you have,
Yep.
how can you balance those things and still be able to, just keep the ball rolling and not kind of, fall off or anything?
Yeah. That is a very good question because I did start out that way. I started out and I thought my channel was just under my name and I was making content of various different things that were my passions and was kind of just looking for something to stick, to be honest. I was looking for something that I saw that people kind of gravitated to, or I didn't know. I really thought back then that probably no one would ever watch. And it was just for me. It was just a creative outlet to put up whatever I wanted to without anybody telling me what I could and couldn't do. And so that was kind of what it was. But as I started to notice it shifting towards some of the lawn stuff, I just made that decision at that point that I think that I need to sort of go after this brand and make it more of what it is now, so that unfortunately on YouTube, I would love to say that you can just make anything you want and you can have 40 different topics happen every 2 weeks. But for some people that works, maybe if they already kind of have a following. But I think for the new people, I would say probably pick one of the things that you're most passionate about, or anything that you feel like is one of your passions, but it's also starting to stick with people, and maybe kind of focus in on that. And I would never say give up on any of the other stuff, but it might be more of an outlet like what I do, where I move it to another place that I can just do whatever I want. And if somebody likes some of the videos, they do. If they don't, I'm just over there to create, and I'm not worried about, oh man, I lost 5 subscribers today because I made this video that they wasn't in topic or something like that. So I think you can't feel bad about those things, but you have to have expectations as to what do you want with your channel. Are you wanting it to be, your life and your business and everything? Then I think it definitely should be focused. But if it's like, I'm just going to be me and I want to make a lot of things, then I think you definitely should do that.
And I say that, and I know that was a loaded question, and I'm just going to use me for an example. I love producing music. So one of my things that I will love to do is not only just give you line care, not only just try to help people with their line as the best that I can, but music is my first love, and that's just something that I just love doing, point blank period. You can always catch me in the studio making something or making some reference to music, but it's really just having that type of balance. And I know we have a lot of people that are in the garden and they have other talents that they do. We have a lot of people in here that are in the kitchen, but they may have other things that they want to do. So I mean that there's just some important information to just find, whatever niche that it is that you have, and roll with that. And you can add it, like you said, if this is just a channel where you want to just, hey, this is my life story, I do this, I do that. But if it's really something that a lot of people are gravitating to, it's really just kind of important to focus on that and then
Mhm.
roll with that. So that's good information. Good
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that you can never lose sight of adding those other talents into there, even if it's kind of subconsciously. Like you said, music for me has always been my number one love. It's it continues to save my life all of the time. Just it is what
Mhm.
it is, and so, but what you're making, that's why I was saying earlier, making lawn care videos look cinematic or have fun music in them or emotional things that happen would never have been something that I think most people would say, well, why would you do that? But it allowed me to continue to add that music side to content that I was making that people were gravitating towards, but it didn't make me say, well, I'm never going to be a musician again, so I can't add music in here that means something to me. So
Yeah. And I mean, I think that was a wonderful question, Polo. I think we're all aspiring to, all of us content creators would love to have that silver play button that Ryan so casually has in his backdrop right now. I don't know if you peeped that, but you know what I mean? He's got that subtle warm light on it, just enough. Not too. It's so classy, right? Because it's not blow in your face. Ooh, look at me with my play button. But it's like I'm proud of it, and I'm going to make sure that you see it. And thank you for the support. And there is no shame in turning a passion that you are passionate about into your livelihood. I feel like that couldn't be closer to achieving the American dream. I think that's what the American dream is truly about. Finding something you love and having fun doing it. Like my sister, Nikki, my DMV sister, Nikki, OCD-ish chick, says in all of her intros for her video. So Grace Ortiz has a pretty good question. She says, will you be living off-grid or will you have power out there in the new property?
we will definitely have power.
Yeah. You definitely, Kelsey definitely seems like an individual that needs power. That's not me calling her high maintenance. It's just, I feel like she understands the importance of having some type of prime power running to that. But
yeah, she's got to run all those scanners. She's got to run all those scanners.
Right.
You know?
But nevertheless, I do also feel like, you know, you could take her hiking for a week and she'd be okay. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Who we got here? Ooh, that one came in big. So, Ryan, not sure how much of the renovation you saw on the IG. I have 3 areas that need new overseed in the spring. What can you recommend for full shade, full sun, and partially shaded areas that will blend? Now, the root guy, I don't know where you're at. Maybe Ryan does. That is an important piece of information, but I'll let Ryan take his best swing at it.
Yeah, we've talked about this question kind of on the podcast that I do with my good friend Ryan DeMay a couple times as well, and it does depend definitely on your location. And when someone says full shade, it also depends on what does full shade mean to them, because that can be various things. It can be, you know, extremely dense where it never sees hardly any light, or it could be something that's a few hours, kind of some filtered light in there or something. So that would make a difference. I mean, if you can blend something, most of the fine fescues, if you're in a cool season zone there, would go pretty well into all of those areas. But some of the tall fescues, if it's something that gets like a decent amount of filtered light, I would probably go more towards tall fescue for everything so it doesn't look different. But
there you go. Robin Caesar says, walk along your property barefoot and allow the energy of the earth to keep you grounded. There we go. I like doing that. I'll just leave it there. I
was going to say, Turf, y'all know I'm always outside.
Yeah. Cam is always barefooted and doesn't have a shirt on. And every day when the summer comes back around, we call him No Shirt Cam, because he's in the chat every day getting his morning sun with no shirt on, walking around like the country bumpkin he is. They call me Sunshine says, so focus on one thing per channel. And yes and no, you know, and I hope you don't mind me speaking for you, Ryan, but what he's really saying is, when you're getting started out as a new channel, focus on that one thing that you're the most passionate about, build you a foundation, and then gradually see what fits. Throw something at the wall and see what sticks, and have confidence in leaning into it. For me, right, I started this journey in lawn care. Now I take trophies in everything I do. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. So I did the wine. I took the trophy. I did the gardening. I'm about to take the trophy in that too, because Cam is on my team. So, what he's really saying is, put your energy into one thing at first. It's no different from getting started on the YouTube, right? There's a lot of people that they'll start YouTube and they'll have Facebook and Twitter and 10 different pages and all these different platforms, and they got a website and they got this and they got that, and you spread yourself thin. You overextend like the Portuguese Navy did back in the day, right? Enough wasn't enough when they had it, And then when things were good, they overextended and their empire collapsed. So take your time, grow into that space. Before we came live and when Ryan and I were just talking behind stage, we said, hey, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You might not reach the level of success you think you're going to reach within the first couple weeks of being on YouTube or the first year. And do yourself a favor and stop paying attention to the person to the left or to the right. My man, Farmer Q, Lioncrest Outdoor said today, the grass always looks greener, but that just might be the fact, that might just be because of the placement of the sun in the bent direction of the grass. Hashtag turf cheated, right? So it always looks greener on the other side. You always yearning for the thing that's not right there in front of you, and we forget to focus on the moment that we're in right then and now. So yes, focus on one thing on your channel when you're getting started. Once you get your grounding and your footing, don't be afraid to explore new things, because that stagnation is what kills. The stagnation is definitely what kills. And and Ryan, I know I said a mouthful there, but if you could tack anything onto that, or anyone on the panel can tack anything.
No,
onto that.
I agree with you completely. And like I was saying, I think just never lose sight of yourself and what else is inside of you that you can add to that content, no matter what topic it is. It doesn't really matter. I mean, every single person has their own individual things that they can offer, no matter the topic. I think that's why people watch different channels. I mean, it's the personality of the person. They get to know that person, and like you just said, then start to add more of yourself into that content.
Yeah.
I agree, Ryan, because like that's one of the things when I first started my channel also was like I wanted it to have a different vibe than all the other YouTube channels that were out there. And like my channel's been called the Drake of lawn care, the R. Kelly of lawn care, the Barry White of lawn care. Like I just wanted it to have a different vibe than everything else that was out there about lawn care. And it's kind of worked, and it's kind of built itself a different feel to it. And this is the end of my first season, and now I've kind of released a recent video that kind of did exactly what we're talking about. It was a little non-lawn care related, but it was another passion of mine that I had, that it was like, hey, I'm going to introduce this to you guys. This is me. This is Country Cam, loving to walk around barefoot and everything else. Hey, this is it, and let's see what it does. And I'm kind of in that phase of I'm watching. I'm like, hey, what's this really going to do to my channel? Am I going to change my channel into a whole outdoors channel and everything else? No, but this is also me opening up in that, hey, this is another part of Cam.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, Big Buck Down was a fabulous video, and to show you proof, Cam's video that has nothing to do with lawn or gardening, it's been picked up. It's like, that video is taken off. It's taken off. So yeah, B Davis, hashtag free B Davis. Can I get it one time?
Free B Davis.
Hashtag
Free B Davis.
Free B Davis. That boy almost got locked up out there at GIE, man. It was man. But he says, Ryan, since I can't get no warm season love, LOL, which warm season grass would you want if you had the choice? Which one would you accept? I'm going to change this question. Which one would you accept? Because I feel like you cool blue. Your blood bleeds blue. I'm going to speak on your behalf, but no, I'm joking. What you got?
I've been talking about this, but my good friend Ryan, he has been growing some Bermuda grass in Ohio, which is, it's not too far from me, and I'm thinking I'm going to get some Bermuda testing going next summer, and hopefully not have it spread into all of the cornfields next to me and cause a natural disaster.
Ryan about to get fined. Ryan is about to get fined by the Farmers Association of Iowa for introducing this noxious invasive weed.
invasive weed. I'll be on the 10 o'clock news and they'll say there's one person responsible for ruining this entire
It
state.
was it was him. It was him. Go get him. He's a famous YouTuber, so you know he's rich. That's what everyone thinks, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Man,
You
so
know, Bermuda crawls where it wants to. You can't tell Bermuda where to go and where not to go. It's gonna go where it wants to go.
yes, amen, amen, amen. Eco Number says, which one do you prefer, YouTube or podcast?
I like podcasting, but I mean, YouTube, when you were just talking about, don't spread yourself too thin, there's so many different things that I just can't keep up with. Like, I'm not on TikTok. I know everybody is the latest thing and, you should be doing all these different things, but sometimes you got to put your energy into what you know, what you love. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, I would definitely say YouTube is still my love of content creation.
I would agree. Like YouTube
I
allows you
100% agree.
it allows you to express the most creativity for sure, right? You know what I mean? So, Guten Yarding, Paul, please email me your number. Please email me your number. I want to call you. I want to catch up, brother. I want to bring you on Turf Uncut this season. I'm terrible with emails. Please email me your number. I'll give you a call. Martin Burns says, "What's your favorite tree, Ryan?"
Ooh, I would probably say oak trees. We have some really amazing old oak trees here in Iowa. Most people think of it as being just a prairie land, but there's a lot of nice oak trees here. And unfortunately, if I were to try to grow those, are probably some of the slowest ones out there, and I would probably never see them in my lifetime. But we might try a few anyway.
Yeah. Britt Mai says you can come and take her oak trees. That's pretty much what she says. Come and take all of her oak trees. Britt Mai, I'm sending Ryan. They're gonna spade those things out. They're gonna spade them out. Thank you for being here. Food by Faith. Yes, you are. You're on my team. We're gonna rock out. We're gonna have a good time on our team. On our Turf, come on. #jabs. Where we got Cooking with Dorsha. Cam's grass was greener and now it's white. Eco said it's past my bed. Look, I don't even dictate my bedtime anymore. Lil Turf dictates my bedtime. Or as my man Polo says, Prince Turf. Prince Turf. Cows. Polo, what you got? I know you got something that you want to say over there. You look like you just like you got something on the tip of your tongue, and I just keep running my mouth. So go ahead, get it.
No. But I will say this, Ryan, for the videos that you make, the shots that you do in your videos, I wanted to say that they are such a inspiration to me, and as well as my brothers on the panel, because we look at those things, and when you're dealing with, let me just use me as an example. I can definitely talk about Turf. I can talk about Cam as well, but let me use me as an example. When you're talking about a person whose brain, when it comes to music, my brain constantly ticks. Like, it's constantly on. I'm constantly recording. Shout out to my wife. We will be in a car at a restaurant, not at a restaurant now, but we will be in anywhere, and I'll constantly be moving my fingers. Like, I'll be doing something, and she'll be looking like, what are you doing? Just stop that. Just get on. I ain't gonna hurt you, baby. But when you're talking about different shots and different things that you do, different angles, those things go a long way for a content creator to be able to walk on the other side of the camera and say, you know what, I'm gonna get it from this angle, or I'm gonna come in high and I'm gonna go low, or I'm gonna put a light this way. For a person that creates, that's just awesome motivation, not to copy or anything like that, but to really look at that and say, you know what, I can do this a different way, or I can get it from this angle, or I can get the veggies from over here, or when I'm cooking, I can bring it in this way and then come over top of it and show let me have the plate sitting down and let me show the steam and then come down into the plate. Just different ways that you can be able to grab different content because the camera is going to speak for itself.
Hmm.
Really don't have to really sit up there and say much. And that's some advice and wisdom to a lot of people that are listening. The camera's going to speak to itself. I was talking to Cam just an hour ago, and I was talking about how blessed I was to be able to be gaining more lines and not doing any soliciting because my line work is speaking for itself. People are looking at it and they're saying, you know what, I want to deal with this man right here. So it's such a inspiration when I see you doing this, or I see you doing that, because I look at it differently. So is there like any other tips or anything that you can be able to give some people in different niches that they can be able to do as far as camera work? We're not talking about cameras. I record with my phone. I probably will continue to keep recording with my phone. Shout out to all the people, all the Galaxy people. I have a Galaxy. I do not have an Apple. I have a Galaxy phone, and I
Me
do
too.
a darn good job with
Both of
my
y'all about
phone.
to get canceled. I'm just letting you know. You need to slow it down.
Turk, you
Yeah,
outnumbered because
yeah, I'm
I
all
already
right.
knew Ryan. Already knew Ryan had a Galaxy. Like, yo, we hashtag
Yeah,
Turk
that's the
cheap.
weirdest thing. Everybody asked me, how would you not have an iPhone? You have all this Macs. I said, I've tried it. I just don't like iOS. So I don't
Yeah,
know why. But
Except for the
to
I'm
answer
computer.
with you.
your to answer your question, I heard this one time when I was really getting into cameras and starting to learn about them, and how do you look at a scene and not just look at it as everybody else would who's standing there? And someone said, you've got that wide establishing shot, so it gives people the idea of what's going on in this whole scene, and then you've got kind of a medium shot, something that catches your eye that says, something here is more than just this wide environment. What else is in there that needs more attention with the camera? And so you have that medium shot, and then you get your detail from something else that within that spot that kind of first catches your eye. What are the detail aspects that you want to show people? And that's something that I've always kept in my mind when I'm using my camera is I look around and I let my eyes just see things. And why do they pop out to me? Is it a specific reason in this scene that tells me something that I need to show people? And so I guess that would just be my word of advice on that. Something that I didn't come up with, but that I heard from someone else, and has always stuck with me as to looking at a scene and what do I want to show people and why.
Yeah, that's great advice there. Before we slide into, I want to talk about, and I think this is important to talk about for especially for all the content creators. But we got this question on the screen. If anyone wants to tackle that, that'd be great. And then I will move into branding and partnerships and building your brand. So I see Polo. Are you laughing because you're going to take it first? Is that what you're going to do?
No, no, I'm laughing at a message that I just
Yeah,
go on.
they're wilding down in the chat,
Go
man.
on.
Y'all are keeping me entertained for sure. But Cam, you want to get it? Ryan, you want to jump on that?
Cam, you want to go for it?
It's a pretty easy one.
I was gonna say so dandelions. I mean, anything, and those are easy to get rid of. Some 2,4-D type product should be able to take those out. I think Triad would be one that you could use. I know Polos ran those. I think Triad is a 2,4-D based product.
Yeah.
For it's a general broadleaf weed control should take care of that.
Yeah, you should be able to
Well,
even go to your big box stores and hit it with a 3-way. That's generally it's generally a really easy weed to take care of. The only concern that you have to read the label Food by Faith because you're a gardener, right? And there's this common misconception, right? With gardening, you can't use chemicals, but Kelsey has a well-established garden, and Ryan still use chemicals. He uses them responsibly. He reads the label. He follows the label. He keeps that in mind. So there's a common misconception that you can't use chemical near a garden. You're about to see me. I'm about to have 5 raised garden beds. in my backyard. Five of them, 8x4s, 8x4s back there. And I'm doing a complete burn down renovation on my lawn. So, and I hope to shed some insight on how you can responsibly use it. And to be quite honest, unless you're shopping completely organic in the grocery stores, there's some information I'm going to share with you that it may bother you this season. It may, trigger warning will be all over it because it's just the facts. It's just the facts. You've been eating this stuff for years. And you're okay. The more than the average person is okay. It's the responsibility, doing it properly, knowing the timing, things like that. We have science for a reason. We need to use it responsibly though. And I'll kind of just leave that there and I won't dig too much into it. We'll definitely revisit it at another time. Okay.
The other thing I was going to say about the other thing I was going to say too about the dandelion thing is, depending on how many are in your yard, it's not really a weed that's extremely difficult to pull with the right tools by hand. So, I've made a couple dandelion videos in the past, and like the first 10 seconds are always like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm not here to tell you you can't have dandelions, for all the people who are going to click on this and then try to kill me in the comments. But you could also do this naturally," but nobody pays attention. They click the video and they say, "Ryan, you have ruined the earth by existing." So,
right. Hey, thank you for being here, Naked Gardeners. Yeah, deadline. You growl at it, it'll usually keel over. And the simple fact that you didn't have them last season, you can thank the little neighborhood kids that pick them up and blow them. Remember when you were a kid, or just Mother Nature herself, though. But as a kid, you pick up the band and you blow them out. Think actions like that in the win for why you have them in your yard this year. It's nature. Yeah. She always wins. She always wins. And we're about to run it into a fertilizer question, which is perfect for the next segment I kind of wanted to walk into, Ryan. The first company I ever saw you publicly bonding with is ours truly, Simple Lawn Solutions. Amazing company. Right? Mm-hmm. Family company. They just treat you well. They treat you well. They believe in you. They lean into you. Little Turf has so many gifts from Simple Lawn Solutions. When I do feel comfortable posting pics of him, most likely on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, Shadeless Slug, come over to Instagram at Turf Therapy. But you'll see Little Turf over there in a little while. But you'll see him rocking Simple Lawn Solutions gear. At some point, though, you grew, you changed. And it's not to say that you didn't deal with Simple Lawn Solutions anymore, but you hit a point in your career to where you were able to do more. And that more is something I want to share with everyone real quick. And then we want to talk about it. I want to talk about what made you take this leap. How has this experience been? And we got a couple questions about granulars, a couple questions that I had on the social medias that people asked me to ask you that we're going to run through. But before that, for the people who are unaware of one of Ryan's many businesses or side things that he does, that we have learned that Kelsey actually does all the work. I got something here that I stolen from his very well approved catalog that you guys might enjoy. So stay tuned.
So today I want to talk about something I've been working on for the winter and actually beyond that as well. And that's a new brand that I'm starting called Lawn Supply Company. And there's broader visions for what it might become. I have some ideas for it in the future as well and growing out some product line within there. So I just wanted to come on today and actually finally introduce it to everyone, all the hard work that's been going on behind the scenes, and tell you about some of the products here first that are going to be coming out very soon. So joining me today is my good friend Matt Martin, who's kind of helping to bring some of these products to life. And I know I can always count on Matt for all of his enthusiasm about all these projects. So Matt, I'm super excited. I'm sure that you are as well. And thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me, Ryan. And yes, I'm overwhelmed excited as normal.
That's awesome. So today we're going to give an overview of some of these products. Try not to dive too deep into all the technology behind them, but also give you enough there so that you can make some decisions on what these uses might be and what these products are good for. So Matt, you want to start with maybe some of the soluble stuff, the idea behind that, and kind of how that came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea behind the solubles is to open up the advanced homeowner or lawn care applicator with a flexible product that they can use and have ultimate control over their rates, especially as more people attempt and get into spoon feeding on their properties. These soluble powders actually give us the flexibility to be able to control rate, as well as using the inputs that are going to give us the biggest bang for our buck across a wide variety of situations, right? So when we're talking about an iron product, specifically we're using fully chelated ingredients there, including an EDDHA, which is going to be obviously great for high pH soils. Or even with the triple 18 product, we kind of did some unique things there where we're able to take advantage of nitrates in the mix. And part of that is to balance that ammonium to nitrate ratios that exist in the soil. And then the other piece of it as well is to promote solubility of the micronutrients through fully chelation, but still also deliver an NPK in a highly foliarly available form as well.
All right, we're back. I guess everyone heard about my 2-minute break. My bad. The wife, she was like,
yeah, I'm
she's
pretty
like,
sure,
you
sure
left the wife.
Tucker didn't know he was on.
Excuse me, but the break is not just for your eyes; it's for us as well. But yeah, man. Shameless plug. Go for it, Ryan. Let's talk about it. But before you do that, I had a question. The same question popped up twice. They said, how do you feel about storing your fertilizers, granular and liquid, over the winter in your garage? Mix commentary on that. It's been a topic this season.
Yeah.
If you want to weigh in on that, and then let us talk about your transition into your own lawn supply company that you've established.
Yeah. As far as the fertilizer goes in the winter, I mean, here, what I've just been telling you about the weather, I have to move pretty much everything liquid. It's a pilgrimage that goes on from my shed to our basement, and my wife just loves this every year when all the storage room becomes full of all the stuff that I told her last year I was going to use and I still haven't gone through. So that's kind of how that works. But usually granular stuff, I mean, if you're not in like a really super humid environment or something where, you got a lot of temperature changes that way, or an open bag of something, I don't typically have any problems with that stuff. It stays in my shed and freezes and just kind of stays there until spring. But the liquid stuff, I would definitely, if you're going to get below that freezing mark, for me, I have to move all that, or probably not a good situation. But transitioning into lawn supply company, yeah, it's something that I kind of have had on my mind for a while. As you mentioned, Simple Lawn, I kind of look at it as Simple Lawn was really a great starting point for me, and is something that I still use and has a place in, I think, probably more of the majority of lawns than anything else, just because of the ease of use. And
Yes.
their formulas are very easy to use for so many different situations. Lawn Energizer specifically, one of my favorite products from them, that I think is just across the board, it works in so many situations, and that's what I like about it. And they come, pre-packaged if you want it that way, where you just hook it up for smaller lawns. It's a good, obviously it's a good idea, and that's why they came up with it. But for me, as I got into the real mowing thing, I started to get more onto some of the higher end, I guess I would call it nerdy stuff, that when you just saw Matt speaking there, some people will say, I have no idea what he's talking about whatsoever. There's a lot of scientific stuff in there, but I needed some specific products that were kind of more for that high end market. But at the same time, I wanted to come out with something like the solubles that we have that could do any of those things that the liquids are doing, but just in a more economical way if you're willing to be someone who's like, I want to mix this out for myself and put it in my sprayer. I don't, and some people don't want to do that. And there's no problem with that if you want to buy a liquid and just put it in there and go. No problem. That's, definitely many situations during my year where I don't have time to measure things and do all of that. So I understand it from all perspectives, but we kind of came up with some of the soluble stuff specifically that I think it has wide, ranges of use for various different things. And at $35 where we're at, last year for a 10-pound box of it that you only use 4 to 8 ounces per thousand goes a really long way for people. So that's kind of the whole goal of it. Where it goes from there, I have some different things that I would like to see in the future. Different products that might come out, or maybe even outside of the fertilizer realm, but just with some other various lawn care products and things that I want to do. So that's kind of where that's at, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Cam, you're smiling. What you got?
No, like because just because of the fact that Ryan was like, I was already thinking one of my questions. I've been through your website. I've seen what you've got to offer, and I think there's a fit for me, in being able to use some of that. And look out, people! I think I've got my test plot, and I think we're going to do some testing this year. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was already, and what I was. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Look
I
at you.
should say too that I was mentioning that it was kind of tailored towards wheel mowing, but my neighbor this year was basically kind of on a program of spoon feeding taller turf, is about 2.5 to 3 inches for bluegrass rye, and he was using kind of a mixture of some simple lawn stuff and then the equalizer soluble that we have pretty much the whole season. Around 2 to 3 weeks time frame, he'd kind of do another dose here, there, just depending on what things were looking like in our summer. We had kind of a difficult summer last year, but so I don't want to misspeak there and say that it's only for real mowing or anything like that, but it definitely can be used in various forms. So
Yeah, and the reason I say just a little more detail is that it's a fit for me. So I'm a low CEC soil, so highly sandy, doesn't hold nutrients very long. And one of the benefits of my last season was I did more of a spoon feeding type application season, and it just happened to it worked out a lot better just for the fact that hey, the sandy soils just doesn't hold nutrients very long.
Hmm.
Yep. That's
yep,
facts. That's facts. I,
absolutely.
I'm in Germany. I got my seed picked out, and let's just say I have a very good use for solubles in my near future, and I'll just kind of leave it at that without spoiling too much of the goods. They call me Sunshine has a question down here. It says, what works well with getting rid of ants? My lawn company wants to charge me so much for granules. I could buy cheaper in the store. Well, I think you kind of answered your question in the question, but I don't have a lot of experience with dealing with ants. I would imagine that the people who would be either Cam due to his countryness or maybe Polo. Cam's shaking his head no. Maybe somebody can help you out. Oh, it looks like Chips and Guac hopped on here and said some ortho products or something. But
You can
Polo,
use ortho. You
yep,
can use orthro.
boom,
Bifenthrin is in orthro. I can't even say it.
ortho.
And probably why they're charging so much is because, for one, a lot of the chems are going up this year. Everything is going up. Chemicals, seed, all of those things. So they have to adjust accordingly. But then again, when a lawn company is using something, they're not using something that you can just go buy at your local big box store. Your ortho, the bifenthrin that's going to be in ortho is like 0.5% versus what they're going to probably be using more than likely. They'll probably be using somewhere the bifenthrin is probably 7.9% or 8%. So it's much higher, much stronger, so to speak. But if you just use like any ortho, and Chips and Guac answered it, you can use any ortho. I can't even say it. Use any one of them. That'll work for you.
Yeah. And then, Chips and Guac, my man Will, he took a little bit of a hiatus this season, but he's assured me he's coming back full strength next season. He pretty much doubled down on what Polo said. In short, ortho be gone or whatever's on sale, and that's what I like about my man Will, Chips and Guac. He keeps it simple over there. Ryan, it looked like you were about to say something.
I think there's a generic one that I have used for, I don't know if specifically it was for ants, but like in the summertime here, we get just a lot of spiders and things like that. I think it's called Sismic, is one that I have used before. So you might look at that. I think I got it on like Do My Own or something. It's not really in any of the big box stores, but.
Yeah, so Eco says to the panel, what kind of blades do you use, and do you switch based on the time of the season? I think that's a really good question for Polo, because if I'm not mistaken, Polo, don't you have 2 different sets of blades?
Yeah, I have the mulch blades, and then the I have a commercial mower, so
Right.
I don't know if you have a commercial mower.
He
or not,
does.
but
He's got a Titan. I want to say he has a Titan.
okay, so you on Team Generic? You need to come over to Skag. But I've got a couple of
Shots fired.
I've got a couple of blades. I've actually got a few sets of blades, and I normally change my blades every 2 weeks. That's due to the lines that I cut. I'm not just cutting one line, but I change mine every 2 weeks. I'll clean up under my mower just about every single week. I just can't stand the fact that, I'm not trying to throw anybody up on the bus. I can't stand the fact that I would maybe come to a line, or someone may come to a line, and the line just weed infested, and crabgrass everywhere, and they're cutting grass and then going to the next line, going to the next line, and going to the next line, knowing that you can be spreading those things. So I don't even try to get to the point where I'm doing that, and I make sure I clean up under my mower, but I change my blades every couple of weeks. I don't go past that.
Eco shade. Poison. Oh my goodness. Hold on, wait. Poison ivy in my herb garden. Would like to use that area to plant my fruit trees there. What is the best way, safe way to get rid of it? I got this really thick book behind me, and it just so happens to be this. The answer is in here, I'm sure. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't want to answer that right now. Does anyone on the panel have something for her? Okay, what I would
I'm
like
not sure.
Yeah, well, what I would like you to do, Barb Brownlee, is email me. My email address is in the About section of my YouTube channel. I'm interested in that question. Maybe even Kelsey Knorr is interested in that question. You know, I mean, it's her next video or something like that. She's fresher out of the course than me, or one of the pros that may still be watching can chime in. But email me, and I want to help you. I want to figure out the answers to that question. But I'm not going to sit here and feed you something that I don't know, because I'm just not sure. That's a unique situation there. So good question though. Thank you for bringing it. I'm just sorry I can't get after it right now for you. The long saw is top class there, Polo. Top class. Well, I mean, we've had a good night, gentlemen. We've been running this thing for about 2 hours now. We'll go around let's go around the room and see if anyone, I mean, in the chat right now, if you have any last minute questions. We're not going to take any more of your time. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the thumbs up, and thank you for the thumbs down. It's feedback, and we still appreciate your feedback. But we'll start with we're not going to start with our guests. We'll start with Polo. We'll start with Polo. what you got for the panel, for the guests, for us all.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Ryan, for coming and just hanging with us. Thank you for taking time out of your day to hang with us. We greatly appreciate your presence, man. Um, I apologize. I did not get to hang or talk as much with you as the other guys did at the GIE. Of course, I did speak with both you, Ryan, and Ryan very shortly, but that was a very small window. I was in the process of doing something, but I ain't gonna get into that. But um, I just thank you for what you're doing, and I just want you to just continue to keep doing what you're doing, because not only are you inspiring me, you're inspiring a lot of creators. You're giving a lot of people ideas. You're giving a lot of people motivation. And just to, like I said, if you want to do like I did, people, if you want to thumb up through all those videos and get to the very first one he did and see the progress. Turf said it best. This is a marathon. We say it all the time. It's a marathon. You're not going to get there. You are going to have some people that are just going to just blow up, but appreciate the slow grind. Appreciate it. And when you look at what Ryan has done from when he started all the way to where he is now, that was a while ago. And a lot of people want to jump from where he was to where he is now in a day. That's not going to happen. That's no difference from with you seeing my line and you're wondering why my line is money green all year long. I want my line to look like that. You're not going to get there in one application. So just make sure that you just take your time with it. Make sure that you just don't rush, because this is a marathon. We're all in this together. We're all just trying to help each other out. And once again, I ain't gonna talk too long because y'all know I can talk. Thank you, Ryan, for coming on and sharing your space with us, and I appreciate it.
I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to bring it here. I wanted to bring it.
I just want to interject for a second there, because I just want to say thank you for those kind words. It was great to hang out. You're right, we didn't get to chat as much, but hopefully the next time we all see each other, we will be able to do that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a grind, but I think, like I said earlier, just have fun doing it and make that the basis of where you start, and you're gonna have a lot better time than if you have some other motivations at the beginning, which then it just becomes work, and work is work. So
we working. Miss Barb, a very experienced pro applicator has an answer for you right there. He also follows up with an alternative. If you're looking at those words and you're like, that is a foreign language, what I want you to do is float over to domyown.com. Float on over there to domyown.com. Write these words down. And the cool thing about domyown.com, and this is for anyone that's listening in the chat, if you have a situation that you're trying to handle and you're presenting questions to me like you're doing right now, to this panel like you're doing right now, they have chat support service when in certain hours, and you can ask them these same questions and they will find that answer for you. They will walk you to your answer. Tell them your circumstances though. Tell them where you're at, your grow zone, whether it be a gardening, USDA hardiness zone, or if it's turf transition, cool season and warm season zone. Give them that information. Tell them what you're trying to achieve, and they will help you. I really like that company. Are they the cheapest in some circumstances? No, they're not. But are they the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Convenient? It's kind of like Amazon sometimes, right? You could probably get it cheaper locally, but locally doesn't always have it in stock. And I mean, let's be honest, during these days, who really wants to go to a store as often as possible? You want to stay to yourself as much as possible. So check out that company. If one of my mods don't mind dropping a link to that, boom, Dorsha. She's on cousin
on
Dorsha.
it. She is on it.
On it. Check it out. Drop your questions in there, and that goes for anyone that's watching. Check that website out. It's a very helpful website. Thank you, Matt, for chiming in there. And now I will still go and do my due diligence and homework, but you kind of gave me a shortcut to it as always. You got me speaking that Matt Martin lingo, as I say. Now, with that, I'll pass over to my man Cam. Cam, what you got for us?
First off, I want to say, Turf, thanks for hosting. Appreciate the opportunity to come on this stage. And to Ryan, definitely appreciate everything you do for the community. You've been a driving force in a lot of my creativity, a lot of the change in cinematography and all of that I'm doing in my content. And I think that goes a long ways with also a lot of the other content creators. We're all in, like I think somebody said, we're all in this thing to provide the best content that we have. But one of the things that I do respect about you is that you're genuine with what the content that you bring forth. You speak on the topics that you're aware of, and at the same time, you're a businessman, and I always respect the class that you bring along with that, and not really just product pushing, but also showing where the application, where these products would be feasible to use, and hey, if they work in your scenario, you provide the option. So I definitely respect the way that you've grown your channel, grown your business, and salute to an OG when you see him.
There it go. There it go.
There you go.
I knew he was going to end with that. As soon as he paused, I was like, here comes the salute to an OG when you see him.
That's WeWorking talk right there, man.
That's some inside baseball right there. That's some inside baseball right there. Yeah, man. So, and then I guess that puts it on you, Ryan. I know you don't like to be center stage front. Liddy, I see you. I see you snuck in here. Thank you for being here, Best Year Journey. I appreciate you. And Barb, I'm glad you got an answer to your question. James the Lawn Junkie been sneaking around. You didn't said nothing all night. Thank you for being here. Nothing all night,
James,
man.
how you not gonna speak to
Dang,
the fam?
Dang, Jam. Yeah, James. And hey, Ben, you can catch the playback, man. You can catch the playback. That's a really good guy too, man. I really like Ben, man.
Yeah,
good guy.
Yep.
But Ryan, parting words for the panel, for the guest tonight, and while you're on it, right? And I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but I'm going to do it. But I just feel like, there's this clear line of partition that has developed over the course of 18 months of me being on YouTube, right? And for some reason in our niche, it is highly frowned upon for you to make a living doing your passion, right? And there's a fine, and Cam kind of danced around and he said product pushing versus sharing your experience and getting a honest living behind it. And it always feels good to earn money for something that you enjoy doing and you've been able to establish some sense of independence. The American dream. That's really, truly, I feel like when I was on the side of the mountains in Afghanistan, when I witnessed the things that I witnessed, when my life was on the line, the long walks that I took in the name of my country, in the name of our freedoms, this is what it was for, right? For people like us to be able to fully indulge in the ability. Listen, guys, if you haven't left the country, you need to, right? You just need to leave the country for, I say 6 months. Do a 9-month tour somewhere, just like us, our service members. Luckily, we only have to do 9 months most of the time. And then some people, depending on their line work, they do 3-month rotations. But if you ever have the opportunity to, give yourself 9 months in another country and then reflect on what you have here versus what you don't have wherever you're at. And and I'm rambling now, so now I'm going to pass it to you, Ryan. And I know that was I I really teed you up for something that probably makes you feel uncomfortable. But aside of you saying your parting words to the community, could you please address that topic in the way that you feel most comfortable doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first off, I just want to say to Cam as well, thank you for that. And it was great to get to meet you and talk to you at GIE a little bit more and get to know you. So that was awesome and really great to meet you there. And Rob, thank you for your service. Again, I told you that before when I saw you at GIE, but I completely agree with you. I have not done too much traveling outside of the country, but I can speak to it's something that I was really toying with the idea last year when I made that property video, and I talked to a few people in my family and Kelsey, and I said, I really want to put in here that I'm living the American dream right now as to what I thought it was and what I think it is. And I know that that's something that has come under kind of a little bit of controversy in some ways. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I should put that in there. I shouldn't, but that's the way I feel. And so that's what I did. And it's true for me. I started off from a town of about 1,000 people. My dad and worked 3 jobs when I was a kid and has continued to work hard his whole life. And I paid for my own schooling. I went to college, paid for everything myself and just continued working on things that I was passionate about up until this point. And so I don't feel ashamed whatsoever about my business or being successful with that. I mean, like you said, I'm kind of confused in some ways why it's okay to be successful in a business when you're not on YouTube, but when you are on YouTube, it's like, well, they shouldn't be doing well. Well, it's the same amount of work to me. I mean, they just don't see the behind the scenes and the 12 to 16 hours a day that goes into a lot of the other stuff that goes on, and they wouldn't, because that's not what I show, and I understand that part too. But I don't feel ashamed about that, and I don't think anybody else should. I think the journey of where I'm at is, like I said, I don't like speaking, like, oh, look at me or anything like that. So I just let the results speak for themselves, and my content speak for what I believe in and what I work hard at. And that's kind of where I leave it. I don't need to be coming out and selling a lot of things to people, because it's just not my personality. So I say, if this works for you and if this worked for me and this is the result that I got, then here it is. If it's not good for your scenario, people email me all the time and say, would this work for me? And I say, nope, not in your scenario. I would not do that. And I will gladly tell you, don't spend your money on something that it's not going to be for you. So I have no problem with that either. And that's just the way I was raised. Just the values of working hard and keeping your nose down and doing the right things and just going for it.
Yeah, man. Well said. Well said. I couldn't say it any better. Will, thank you for what you thought that was, but Al, that was some inside baseball right there. That was some inside baseball that Aldo dropped. I know that many people don't know what I'm talking about, but Will, you know what I'm talking about, and Aldo does too. That was some. Thank you, thank you. But that was some inside baseball. I know everyone's like, "What is he talking about?" But hey, look, Ryan, you're thanking me, and we're all thanking you.
Yep.
It was humbling to hang out with you. Right now, while I got you, on a scale, okay, out of your top 3 pizza restaurants you have been to, where does Spinelli's rank? I know Polo had to miss it because he had responsibilities the next morning, so he couldn't hang out. But I mean, Spinelli's, man, let's do a little bit of inside baseball right now. Where does it rank for pizza joints for you?
Well, in Iowa, our most famous pizza joint is a gas station chain called Casey's.
Gross.
So if that tells you anything, it's actually pretty good. So give it a chance before. But I would say, it has to be up there in the top of what I remember of it. We'll put it that way, because I don't know. We were maybe not of sound mind at that
Hey
point.
man, we had a good time. We were living the daggone
Amazing.
American dream that night. We really was. To speak to everyone that's here, first of all, I just want to thank the WeWorking team again. Cam, Polo, this would literally not have been possible without you two. Cam for giving me the peace of mind and helping me get that structure. Polo always coming through with the beautiful beats, and you threw that edit together for me while I could sanitize the house one last time before Little Turf, Prince Turf as you call him, came home. Ryan, you taking the time out of your busy schedule, dealing with a 40-acre property, being a husband, and being a YouTuber, full-time YouTuber, to come on this channel with little old me. I really appreciate it. It was, this is out of all the goals that I've had on YouTube, this was definitely in my top 3 to have you come on my channel one day, man. To have you come on my channel, to have you see me. Sometimes we just want to be seen, right? Sometimes we, and in the conversations that we've had behind the scenes and the affirmation that you've given me that I'm moving in the right direction and you like what you see, it just makes me, no one ever does it for the recognition initially. You do it for the passion, but it's always nice to be recognized for your efforts. No different from what you were speaking of as far as you grinding and trying to make something of yourself and establish your own business. So, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate what you do for the community. I appreciate you taking the time and taking this serious and being here with us tonight, spending the time with the community, eating up 2 hours of your life to entertain not just the community that I serve here, that we serve here, but us as well, because we're groupies. We have been like geeking about this in our group chat. Like, yo, I was like, yo, you won't believe that Ryan said yes. Like at GIE, I was like, I got Ryan. I felt like I hit the lock. I was like, I got Ryan. He said yes. He was like, he said yes. I was like, yeah, he said yes.
It's been like that ever since.
And then, we've been talking about it. There we go. Ben, congratulations, Rob. Welcome to the world, Prince Turf. And yeah, for all the men listening tonight, a good buddy of mine, Jordan Netzel, the Lawn Tools, he put me onto this book. It's called The Intentional Father. I believe that's what it's called. The Intentional Father. That book is amazing. I think it's written by an author, Jason Troy. And if you're raising a son in this century, it's a good read. And if you know someone that is a new father or still in those early stages, because Polo and we were talking about how the first 12 years are the foundation of a child's life. And what you do in those first 12 years, it really sets them up for anything that follows after that, right? And if you want to be the best father John Tyson, I was close. John Tyson is the author. If you really want to be the best father you can be, that is a book that at the very least will provoke thoughts, right? It will make you reflect on some things that I'll share something with you, personal, intimate, but nevertheless, this is transparency. I did not want a son. That's the last thing I wanted. And I told you that on my live. I didn't want a son. And part of the reason why is because of the pressure of raising a man in the society today, right? Especially a man that looks like me. So I wanted a girl. So in a sense, I didn't have to grow up, right? Not to say it's not hard for girls. It's just different, right? So with that being said, and the dynamic of everything that's going on today, that book right there will at the very least make you feel like you're not crazy and you're not alone. So I highly recommend that book. Thank you, Jordan, when you catch this replay or when Ben tells you about it, because he's in the chat tonight and it just popped up on my mind. It's a really good book. You should pick up that book. Thank you for all the congratulations. Like I said, John Tyson is the author. And Ryan has been consistently telling us all night about his one and true passion, right? It's music, just like Polo, just like me. And Cam, he likes music. He likes walking around barefoot more than anything.
In the country.
Right. Right. Oh, I missed this one. Spinelli's. but with that being said, you know, I always leave you with something. I'll leave you with some tunes to ride out to, and they're usually polo beats. But tonight, unbeknownst to him, Ryan is going to take us out. He's going to take us out. I thank all of you for being here. I hope you had a good time, and you definitely want to hang around for this outro because this is going to be a delight to the ear. Thank you, Ryan, for being here.
Thank you,
Cam.
guys.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Polo. I appreciate y'all very much, and y'all have a good night. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
So many locked doors in my way, and I can't find my keys. And even every window has a shade. So how am I supposed to find my way? It's all I ever say. It's all I ever say. What about me? What about me? What about all the possibilities? So what about me? What about me? Maybe I'm not tall enough to reach. The miners took and dug a hole for me, but kept their lights on. And even when they left, I still could see. But now I don't know if I believe. Is it real or is it a dream? Real or is it a dream? So what about me? What about me? What about all the possibilities? So what about me? What about me? Maybe I'm not tall enough to reach. So what about me? What about me? What about all the possibilities? So what about me? What about me? Maybe I'm not tall enough to reach.